Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of OLSC Bengal Cop talk shows, where we talk about different topics on football, Liverpool, and many more. So, to start with, as most of you know who are watching the show, today is a very special episode, and we are going to talk about our School of Football Excellence, which is an initiative of the OLSC Bengal Cup, which nurtures the talent of kids from a very early age and assists them in developing to pursue a career in football. Some of you may be aware about it, some of you may not be. So, this show today, like our purpose of this show, is to cover most of the questions that people might have regarding this show. For those who are newcomers and are being made aware of the project now, will also have their doubts cleared on what we plan to achieve or what we have been achieving with this academy of ours. So, to begin the show, let me just tell a little bit about this small little academy that we have. So back in 2014, on the 15th of July, the academy initially started in a very small village called Dihi in Shonarpur, which is like 30 kilometers south of extreme South Calcutta, which is now known as Kolkata. So initially, when we started, the project started with like 20 kids, all within the age group of 10 to 15 years old. Within a year, I believe the demand grew quite a lot, and in that area, like in the surroundings of Dihi and Shonarpur, and students from adjacent villages also started coming into the academy. Like, and I believe we reached a count of around 40. However, like as they say, like every good things come to an end, and every good things come in small packages. Unfortunately, due to lack of funds and other local issues that we faced during that period of time, we were not able to continue with the program and had to stop functioning in 2017. But yes, our program stopped and we stopped functioning. But I think the belief that was there, w- with the organizing or the administrative team, that belief never died down, or the belief never evaporated. It was there. And so on 19th of on I'm sorry, on 9th of June 2019, the academy was reopened with 50 kids belonging from four different villages of Shonarpur Dihi area. And since 2019, I think, I would say, like I personally would say that it has been a roller coaster, like every journeys in life is. But as we speak, currently we have around 150 students spaced out across three separate centers, and we have 250 plus contributors who are contributing to this cause on a monthly basis. And along with that, definitely we have a brilliant admin and management team that takes care of the proceedings of these three different centers. So this is, in a nutshell, about what School of Football Excellence is. Now, those who've heard it, we can say, like, I mean, I'm sure like you guys would be more and more intrigued to know uh, how the good days were, how the bad days were. So, in order to discuss that, we have a small panel. We have uh, one of the main founders, as well as the person who dreamt about this vision, and currently heading the School of Football Excellence, is uh, Krishnendu Bishash. I would like to call Krishnendu on screen with me at this point of time, so that we can go ahead and further discuss. Yeah, so Krishnendu is here with us. I think he's pretty known face. I don't need to go around and tell that what Krishnendu is to OLSC Bengal Corp or what he is to School of Football Excellence. So, hi Krishnendu.
Hi,
Uh,
hi.
so, yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How's Singapore treating you?
Yeah. Singapore's trading pretty fine. Hopefully, I'll be back in Calgary very soon to catch up with you guys. Let's see if
Perfect,
I can
perfect.
make a plan,
Liverpool are
maybe
on the
in coming
rise,
months.
just behind Manchester City. I think that's the right time to come back home. So this is the right kind of Ghar Wapsi we should see, and not something else.
Yeah. Sure.
So this
Absolutely.
is this is a very special show. Like আমরা বারবার লিভারপুল কে নিয়ে আলোচনা করি. We talk about other
Exactly.
English Premier League. This is something that's close to our heart, close to home, where the heart is. So basically, it's a very interesting show. I'm looking forward to this show and give details about what exactly we are doing at Bengal Corp School of Football Excellence.
Absolutely. I mean, there is. I mean, I think apart from the fact যে মানে এই একাডেমিটা has been a very core part of our ওএলএসসি বেঙ্গল কাপ. I think there are a lot of memories also যেগুলো আমাদের একাডেমিটার সাথে নানানভাবে জড়িয়ে আছে. I mean, over such a long period of time. So we'll discuss those parts, I believe. So, Krishan, right, I mean, to begin with a very basic question, how it all started, or rather, why did you feel the need to start something? Like, share some early memories of the foundation meetings that you have been a part of, and I think I was a part of some of them as well. So, like, I mean, can you just take us through the early stages, like back in 2015, like how it went about?
Right. So before we arrive to 2014, I'll have to go a little bit further backwards. Back in 2011, 2010, 11 was the time when the concept of Liverpool Supporters Club and like the European supporting clubs are starting to pop up in Calcutta. Like it became famous, supporting Liverpool, supporting Manchester United. So that is where we also started back in 2011. We started as Bengal Cup Liverpool Supporters Club Kolkata. So this is how we started that way. So as we grew, I mean, there were screening events. There were like a lot of excitement around supporting an European club over there. So in Calcutta, so thousands of miles away from the heart of the city, we are doing that. But there was something that was missing. I mean, we are all like Bengalis, first of all, football lovers. That is what connects us to, say, the European giants of the world. So that is where something was missing, and the most important thing that was missing was how far are we currently as Indian football? We are really lagging behind. So this is where I think this is what triggered the whole thing. Like supporting Liverpool, shouting about Liverpool, chanting about Liverpool is a big thing. But when your base is empty, this is where I feel this is where it triggered all of us together that we have to do something about Indian football, and this was the first initiation. So then we had a meeting like let's do something. Let's do something. The first word was let's do something. What we're not clarified
Mm,
about. We had hardly any awareness of what to do, and we can do anything. I mean, tournaments करेंगे या फिर और कुछ करेंगे. I don't know. I mean, let's do something. That was the idea. So I think that is where we started having a few meetings, like what to do. I mean, to understand what exactly to do. I mean, how can we make things better? Like when you used to watch Bengal football, like obviously huge respect to everyone who has worn the jerseys of East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Indian national team, all the big clubs. But the thing that we used to watch when we were like kids, a defender used to pass a ball directly to a striker. There was no game plan. An African striker or a Brazilian striker used to receive it on his chest, dribble or shoot, and that was the
yes,
entire game about. So there was
right.
no game. And then we started watching Liverpool, and it's like, wow, pass. United, same thing. Domination. Like they were like creating, they were like making the whole game look beautiful to your eyes, which was missing. So that is when we realized what was missing in Indian football was mostly grassroots development of football, which is not there. Like you, me, and several other football enthusiastic in this country, we play football because it's fun for us. We go to school, we play for our house, we play for our school team, and that's it. Do we get the football education that an English player like a Trent Alexander Arnold has been getting for the last 16, 17 years through his
Right.
local club, through his Liverpool academy? Do we get that? We don't get that. But
Or
yes, Pandit.
like, yeah, even if we don't look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, even if you're looking at a third division club,
Yes,
a
yes,
youngster who's like a 16 or a 17, the education that he obtains for last 15 or like last 12, 13 years of his life, that's what I guess you are referring to.
exactly, exactly. The education of football equivalent to a school level. I mean, that
Right.
was what's missing in this country. The word school was missing in this country of football loving. There are a lot of football enthusiasts, but we never had that training. We had a PT teacher who used to take us out for
Exactly.
games with
Yes.
another school, house games
Yeah.
and all. That was the most we got.
Yeah.
But
And
education, proper education, never.
yeah, and then we like never had any practices, I believe, throughout the school, and then all of a sudden we were thrown into a sports day and we were supposed to perform there or
Yeah,
not
yeah,
perform there,
absolutely.
whatever. Yeah, right. I totally agree. I mean, really good thoughts on the school part, the fact why we named it the School of Football Excellence. It's because it's a school. Like it's like we have a regular education of football given over there. Like how, if you take football as a subject, how the education would fall in space. That is exactly what I think you're talking about. Right,
Exactly,
great.
exactly.
Yeah. So, Christian, like if I may ask you, like, I believe, like, I mean, we ran for some time and then we stopped. I'll come to the
Yes.
stopped part later on. So, what were the initial achievements that was achieved by School of Football Excellence? Like, what were the initial days? Like, if you can like specify a few achievements that.
Sure, sure, sure. So when we started in 2014, we started with like 20 kids from a village, like you said, in Bihi. So we saw that the entire village is like football loving village. So it's like they don't eat properly, they don't go to school properly. That's like the first generation that is probably receiving education. And but football is the most constant thing in their life. They like start that day playing football and keep on playing football, football, football. We saw the enthusiasm and talent over there. Then we saw that they don't use their talent to change it to a professional level. So their football gets restricted to a fun level also, even they're just playing football. So that is where we saw that so much of talent, why let it go for waste? So let's do something where we can actually discipline the whole thing and then bring these all these 20 kids whom we have seen that was so good at football. They're running around after the ball. They're even if they're like good with dribbles, they're like brave. We saw how brave they are. They'll put their head somewhere where we will be thinking twice to put our foot over there. So we saw how brave they were. Like Bukit Pata is something that we used to call there. Like they have a lot of that. So we
Yeah,
saw a lot of that is there, but what is missing is like their transition from amateur football to professional football.
to
So
professional
that
football. Yeah.
so that is where we started, and within a year of training, I mean, we were still very small. I mean, we just had training for once a week, Sundays and maybe
Yes,
Saturdays we had training. It was
Sundays
just
and Saturdays.
yeah.
And that also,
So
like, the ground conditions there were not at the peak at that time. So if
no,
it
no,
was
no,
like
no.
a
Even the
really
roads. I
downpour,
mean, we used to walk walk 2.5
yeah,
kilometers to reach that place.
right.
I mean,
So
no
if there was a
vehicles available.
downpour, we had to stop. Like if there was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
real
absolutely, absolutely. There was
torrent
nothing
downpour,
available
we
over
had
there.
to stop. Yeah. So right. I remember.
And in Calcutta, people will understand the auto bhara was 120 rupees. So you know the
Yeah.
distance we had to travel to pay 120 rupees for an auto. I mean, it's quite a lot.
Right. And
So
that
so
also,
that's
like, it was back in like 14 or 15. It's not like
2014. Yeah,
two
yeah,
days, two
2014.
days, 150. Yeah. So right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So that's there. So in 1 year, what we saw, they took part in a football tournament, which is like they had another 63 school teams taking part in
Yeah.
this.
Right.
So they played for their local school, and the name of the school is Diksha Education Trust, and
Diksha.
they have done a fantastic work. I have to tell the audience about they're doing
Absolutely.
a fantastic work over there. They're helping the community through education, through different kind of education, not just academic education, but life skills, grooming, a lot of things. So they played for Diksha Education Trust. They were all our students. And that was the first time they left the village actually. They came back with the Champions Trophy. I mean, that was huge for them. 1 year
I
of
remember,
training.
if you remember, Krishnendu, I think like one of the matches, I think they put 9 or 10 past a school who were like making like a little bit mockery of them before the start of the match. and like these guys, they were like really humble and down to earth even after victory, and then like went ahead and shook their hands. And like I mean, that I think was it was a league match, but I think that was a key moment when I think a lot of people amongst the admin board realized that these guys really had potential.
Exactly, exactly. That is where, I mean, when they reached the stadium, they were like so afraid to face, like so many big schools where they were so intimidated, entirely intimidated. Like, how will they perform? I was scared, and like, and fortunately, I mean, once the first match was like this, it started. They felt like this was the place they will just not leave any stone unturned to achieve success. So that is where first match they saw every fashionable school in Calcutta
Yeah,
came over there. Every
I
good
think they
name
considered.
and their
I think
styles
they
and everything
considered
was
only
there.
one. They considered only
Yeah,
one
I think
goal in
like
the
semi-final they
entire.
scored. Huh.
Yeah, they
Semi-final
considered
they
only
considered one. Yeah.
one goal in the entire uh, group. I mean, throughout the East Zone
Right,
uh,
right.
league
So
part.
we
Yeah.
also had a 9-year-old guy named Dipankar playing over there. So he has now grown up to be a proper footballist. Is I think 15, 16 years old. So he was recently actually quite well praised by a Bangalore club when he went for trials over there, and hopefully he's going to make a career over there. So anyway,
I
so
think.
that
Yeah.
was it.
I,
The first year they won that trophy in that school tournament, and yeah, I mean a couple of players also got selected for the Bengal team. One is
yeah.
Bijoy Mondol and Devdas. They got selected for the Bengal team. They
Right.
played Shanti
I
Trophy.
think Bijoy went on to captain East Bengal under 16 as well a
Under
few years
19, he
back.
became the
Under
ultimate
19 as well.
under
Yeah.
19 team. He was captain of the last I League thing that happened for under 19
Right.
age
Right.
category.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Right.
so the team has been
Okay.
dissolved. So unfortunately, Bijoy doesn't have a career as of now, but obviously in the future, we'll see.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wishes to Bijoy. And speaking of that, like let us bring somebody who has been associated with the academy and has like put out a real good voice in terms of a lot of things with respect to the academy. So without much ado, I would like to call upon stay on screen uh, Shagnik, who is with us. So we can have Shagnik and we can continue with the discussion. Hello, Shagnik. How are you doing?
হ্যালো অনিকেন্দুদা, হ্যালো কৃষ্ণেন্দুদা, হাউ আর ইউ গাইজ?
Hello, hello. কেমন আছিস?
ভালো আছি, তোমরা কেমন আছো? অনেকদিন পর।
All
Hello,
good.
hello. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. We are doing absolutely fine, Shagnik. It's a pleasure to have you. I mean, always, not only today. So, but
Certainly
so I
pointing out
yeah.
my preferences over
Oh,
football
sure,
club.
sure, 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 sure.
Subtly, just subtly.
Right, right, right. No worries, no worries, because like we'll break those myths as well as we
Yeah,
speak on
absolutely,
the show today.
absolutely.
So yeah. So like I mean, Krishnandu has been speaking about the academy. So I just wanted a bit of your viewpoint also. So like, see, I mean, we understand that you have not been with the academy right from the beginning, but like you've been a very vocal and a very esteemed supporter, I would say, of the academy. So how long have you been associated with the SOFE, and like what are your feelings about it, if you can like just say in a nutshell, or maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been associated with the academy, I think it was from last year, somewhere in the middle of last year, when I
Yes.
got to know through my contacts in Red Army Kolkata, like Shubham, I think Shubham Shikdar and Shubham, our president Shubham Roy, and we were. I was actually intrigued that something like this was going on, and we didn't. I hadn't heard about it before. I was very disappointed that I hadn't heard about it before, so that I could have helped a bit earlier as well. But it's a fantastic initiative, I would say. It's a great initiative, and we would. Uh, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we had a really good time. I think a conversation with Krishnananda about what the academy stands for, and he explained it to me. And of course, we support different clubs. We have different opinions on different things, but at the end of the day, we want Indian football to progress. So it's a it's a great opportunity for young players, as you were saying, Onikendu Daje. English footballers, European footballers, they have like proper training from a very young age, and they can easily make that jump from professional football, from like school level football to professional football, because of the training and everything, and that is lacking here. I've seen plenty of people who play really well in school levels, and they haven't really made it any anywhere near in the professional world. So I think that this initiative will give them a proper platform to develop, and it's a great opportunity for youngsters. And I should really thank Bengal Corp and all the patrons and all the people who are supporting. And we've been trying to
Absolutely.
get more people in, but there's a lot of people who supported, and a lot of people who voice their opinions about how the team should play and everything, and we should really thank them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Shagnik. Thank you. I think Krishandu Shagnik mentioned a very important point out here, which I would like to record back to you. So he said that he knows a lot of players. I mean, a lot of friends or I mean his acquaintances who has done really well at a school football level, or like they were really great players, but they never took up football professionally. If I may say that.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, right. So do you feel, Krishnendu, at any point of time that, uh, I mean, say if you're talking about the 90s or we're talking about the early 2000s, uh, is it like football was a taboo, or is it like football really? I mean, there was no one where no, not more academies or not many places where we could go out and get trained or educated in football, as we may say. Like, would like to know a little bit about that from your side.
So if I'm looking at school friends, I mean, we also saw a lot of good players playing with us. Someone scoring 7 goals a match is like Bodo Pelu, Darun Khele. So all these things always came up, no. So, but where is he going? He's playing with us at the end of the day. No training, nothing. So back 20 years before also, what they were like no academy. Like in India, there were no academy 20, 15, 10 years back also. What happened in the last 5 6 years is lot of private academies in cities has popped up. Like you can see Calcutta, there are academies and they're actually doing good work. I mean, Bangalore, may you'll find a lot of academies, Mumbai, Delhi, wherever they're actually coming up with football academies for kids, not for like a Tata Football Academy level. Those are for 15 and above. But somewhere like even a kid, like a 6 7 year also can play. Now they're actually doing a good work, and without them, India's current condition wouldn't have been too good. I mean, looking at the future, I mean, they are doing a very important work. But coming to think about reality, like a further more detailed about reality. I mean, what is the most famous profession of India? And the 10th most famous profession of India. Does football rank in any of those? So, as a father, suppose a father who has sent a 6 year old son to play football in an academy, is he thinking that when my son turns 18, I am going to make him a professional footballer? No. He sent his son to have a recreation in his life, to stay fit. Instead of going to a gym, he's probably playing football. His brain will get sharper. He's going to feel healthier. So that's the most. Whether he's going to pursue that professionally is a far-fetched concept. But at the age of say like the same age, you are sitting in a household, your father has already thought about what are the possibilities his son is going to take up: engineering, doctor, lawyer, MBA, and whatever. There's a lot of other options, sarkari chakri. So these are all there. But football, I mean, the very first sport anybody can think of is cricket. So in an academy, in a city-based academy where someone is paying and training, the disadvantage even till now, which should not be there in few years, even till now is the just a second.
a
Anyway,
very busy man,
nah, sorry. So the
very busy
problem
man.
now it is like they are. I mean, it is not. Uh, it is not a profession. Anybody. I mean, only one out of that 100 lot of academic students are like looking forward to become a footballer. Rest are there to leisure, recreation, something like that. It's fun, but seriousness not yet there. The advantage with SOFA is that it's an advantage and a very unfortunate situation. I'll tell you why. All the kids who are part of SOFA, all the 130 boys, there are 20 girls who are senior. They have played some football before. But all the 130 boys, unfortunately, they come from a very underprivileged background. So the thing is, their alternative career option is to pick up a job of a labor, mason, delivery boy, something like that at a very young age. So when they're 14, 15, they get pressurized. Sorry, it should be lesser privileged and not underprivileged. I'm sorry for that. So it's they are pressurized to take up such work because of obviously financial conditions back at home. So it's very unfortunate. They're playing football, and back in 2014-15, you used to see that these their parents used to come to a ground, pick up their son. You don't have to continue playing football over here. Go join your father in the fields. So they used to like snatch him away and take him to the fields. Like football खेल के कोई फायदा नहीं है. But now, 7 years later, their parents, I mean, if they had a younger brother, their parents come to our ground, give their son to us, and say, the entire responsibility of my son is on you, and you make sure that he turns out to be a professional footballer. He is not going to join his father in the fields, he's not going to be a laborer, he's not going to be a mason. You make sure of that. So, the dedication of a 6 year old, 7 year old in our academy, it is going to be there for the next 10, 12, 13 years until he becomes a professional footballer.
Right.
Dedication
And
of
I
leisure.
would just like to, yeah, I'm sorry. I would just like to interrupt you once, Krish. And on this note, I would like to thank each and every patron who is there with us, and each and every month they are by our side. Without you guys, those parents would never have approached us and told us or given us the faith, or given us or had would have had the trust on us to go ahead and take care of their sons or daughters career. It is specifically because of you guys who are every month standing by our side. So I would like to extend a note of thanks to each and every one of you once again. And sorry for interrupting you, Krish, but
No
I just had
problem.
to
That is a very important point. I mean, the financial pillar. I mean, of course, there's a lot of finance that's involved in this thing. I'll go into details later on how we get that. But the, the only important thing how it happens is because of patrons like yourself, Shagnik here, you guys, including another select more than 200 patrons we have, were part of this journey. They have pledged their support just like a parent has pledged their support of not snatching their son away from the ground to force him to take up a blue collar job at a young age when he should be dreaming of playing football. The same dream is shared by every other patron for someone else's kid. I mean, what a beautiful scenario we have over there. I mean, not everyone knows. I mean, you probably can't name more than 5 players who are part of the academy, but you share the dreams with every one of them. Every one of them, every kid over there can dare to dream. The phrase is dare to dream because of such an amazing support we have from our patrons. The patrons
absolutely.
are the financial pillar of our project. It's going to be like that. Why we go for individual funding? We'll get into the subject when we talk about finances later on.
Right.
So yeah, so this
And yeah, right. And while you were speaking about patrons, right, I would just like to burst. I would like to burst a myth out here. So, Shagnik, this I mean, this is
Yeah.
specifically for you. Okay, like since this project has been an initiative of OLSC Bengal Corp, I mean, we personally often like try to burst this myth that this is evidently for Liverpool supporters. Like, and as far as we know, like you are a diehard United fan, and
Okay.
time and again you have reached out to people telling that this is not only for Liverpool fans, and encouraging people to come forward and support. Like we specifically really want to thank you from the bottom of our heart for that. I mean, and the question is like, what would you like to say to an AC Milan fan, or a Real Madrid fan, or a Bengaluru FC fan, or a United fan for that matter? Like, why should they come and support a cause which is an initiative of OLSC Bengal Corp?
Because this is all about Indian football. As simple as that. This is all about growing strengthening the grassroots of Indian football. To put it very simple, put it in very simple words. That's it. That's about it. It doesn't matter if you support United, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter over here. At this level, it doesn't matter. Like Krishnananda said, these, there are lesser privileged backgrounds, people where the kids like 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids working in blue collar jobs. That's not what we want. Those most of us who usually support United, the foreign clubs here, we are from a middle class background. We have proper upbringing as such. But these kids, they don't have it. They don't have the choice of supporting these clubs. The only thing that they have, a proper choice that they have, is to either they don't even know what they'll have for dinner or for lunch the next day. That is how bad things are for most of these kids who are these young kids, 130 kids who are coming in, 130 kids and 20 senior girls who are coming in to play. They don't know that, and it's our job. I think it's part of our I wouldn't say
Social
mission, but
responsibility.
it's a responsibility, a social responsibility. That's the exact word. Yeah, a social responsibility to help these children out. And why not? It doesn't matter if I'm a United fan. This transcends rivalries. This is about uh, the, our Indian football. I mean, wouldn't any of us, even if you're a United fan, Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, wouldn't we love to see India playing in the World Cup? Maybe in the next
Absolutely.
20, 30
Any
years.
day.
Maybe don't we want to hear the Indian national anthem play in a World Cup game? And it's as simple as that. That has to be the aim, and we have to. Our football was on par with many top Asian countries in the 1970s and the 80s, where football was a good profession to play in, and that has all dwindled down now. But we are growing, and on that note, I would Krishnanoda was actually thanking the patrons, and I was as well. But being a part of that group, and you're a part of that group as well, Onikanуда. I mean, I would like to thank Krishnanoda for like giving us regular updates on what's happening, keeping us updated with the occurrings in and around the teams and around the four centers, and what's happening, why we can't, if we're supposed to play a match and we can't play a match that day, why we can't play that match that day. And there's a lot of transparency going on, and that
Transparency.
is
Exactly.
something that is something that is really lacking in a lot of other academies or projects that I've seen. And that is one of the main reasons I tell people to join School of Football Excellency, so that you can be a part of something big, and you can be a part of something special.
Right. Right. Thanks for the kind words, but I know that you are doing it from the bottom of your heart, and like you only wish
And this is
good
only
times
because you
for
promised me like $10,000. Krishnananda.
Direct from Singapore, it's approaching. Amra parbo na.
না সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে আসছি যা যা করে
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So,
thank you. I
moving,
mean, of course, like
yeah,
Shagnik has been there for almost 6, 7 months with us, probably a little bit more. But I think Shagnik is here to stay. Just like a lot of other patrons has, they know what's happening out there. Clarity should be there. I mean, we are quite famous. I mean, it's quite popular concept that what's happening with sports in India. I mean, nobody knows. We just see a game on television. Everything else we call politics. This is not happening right. That is not happening right. People are going to jail. A lot of other fundas are going on. Why get into that? So the idea is like keep it simple, keep it transparent. Everyone gets to know what's happening. Let's focus on work. The moment we start focusing on keeping things hidden, doing things differently, and putting things into our own pocket and all, that is where you will be caught. I mean, like there are people to just point
I mean,
fingers at you.
yeah, right. And I mean, more than caught, that kills the purpose. So the moment it kills the purpose, it takes away the social responsibility thing which Shagnik just mentioned. So it is like killing two birds with one stone. So why would, like, yes, there are a lot of stuff which you mentioned, politics, corruption, and all, but we cannot, like, I mean, those are also the pitfalls and the potholes in the ways that we walk. So we cannot avoid that. But yes, getting the work done and doing the work is the best possible way, which I believe, like, is being taken up. With that, I would like to ask, I mean, this is a serious opinion, or rather an advice or a suggestion that I would like to ask Shagnik. We have often seen that you engage and carry out a lot of successful events in and around Kolkata with Manchester United fans, like be it screenings or like some kind of promotions and stuff. So we believe like promoting these events that you undertake is a crucial factor for their success. So how do you feel like we as SOFE can better the sort of promotions we do to increase the reach and awareness of our program, or like what we are doing?
It's a very interesting question that you've asked me, and And I had a conversation with Srishnu, I think a month or two back about this, how
Right.
getting more people to be involved in this, and I think again the we have to get more people involved, and for that we need to reach people. And I think in this day and age, if we do not take the help of social media, it would be a blunder on our part. And we need to promote what is our strong point, and our strong point is transparency, and our strong point is we want to do something for the kids, not for ourselves. There are plenty of academies that run just for the sole purpose of like building like for their own profits, and it isn't a very pleasant experience for the kids. Here the things are different. We do things transparently, and we keep everyone updated, and we need to get these points across to people. And I think for that, social media, we have to reach more people through social media. We have to reach more people through word of mouth. I think a lot of people actually join through word of mouth. People, I
Right.
joined through a friend of mine, Shubham Shikdar. You should thank him. And Shikdar actually managed to get in like five or six more people from our group. I've tried to get more people involved. And
Yes.
from me, these things has to grow. I mean, all of the patrons, if we can take up the responsibility of getting like one or two of their friends, all of us, we're like 200, 200, 200, 250 or around somewhere like that, if I'm not too wrong. And if all of the patrons can take up the responsibility of getting like one or two other friends, we can double or triple that amount into like 500 or 750. So that can be an amazing thing for the School of Football Excellency. So it is I think so again, word of mouth works, but social media, we have to focus on social media, and we have to promote what again, without promoting on social media, no venture is successful these days. It's very hard to find a venture that is actually successful without promotion on social media. And so we have to promote our strong points, like I said. Also, I was thinking about it, and because where as I grew up, I mean, it was never considered that football is an option, as an employment, as a career. You were never encouraged to play football. Football was something
Exactly.
that only naughty boys would play on the field during break times, and they would break glasses and everything, schools on the school field.
Honestly
And even
speaking, like, I mean, not only football. I mean, I think we've pretty much grown up in the same years. Maybe 5 and 6 years here or there. I think it was anything, any sport apart from cricket was not a profession that
not
could
a
be
profession at
thought of.
all. Yeah,
Yeah, right. Go
absolutely.
ahead.
You
Go
have
ahead,
to be a
Shah.
And
rebel to pick up
what
that skill. Otherwise, general people, no, not allowed.
Yeah, no, and what was even more interesting was that, like, if you see games that have, like, football is still seen as a very physical game. There's no mental aspect to it. Like, people, you put the ball on the field and you play. That's it. Games like chess were very much encouraged. Even now, they're encouraged. There are chess clubs where people they get in like grandmasters and everyone to come and coach you
Yeah,
on like select days of the week. And football hasn't had that. Even like schools, like privileged school football is not that anymore. And I think School of Football Excellence should make it a point in the future, not right now, in the future, to reach out to schools and to show and to offer classes and tell them how we can, like, even we are working with 130 kids, and there are thousands of other kids from all different backgrounds of society who are maybe they are a coal mine. They are just a coal waiting to be turned into a diamond,
yeah,
and School
absolutely.
of Excellency can turn them into a diamond.
Right. And like, with respect to what Chagnik just now said, I would like to apologize to the viewers. In the excitement of the fact that we opened three new centers, I mentioned three centers in the beginning. It's actually four centers because I forgot about the original one which we had. So it's one plus three, four centers, guys. And it's sorry from my side for misinterpreting that. Right. So yeah, right. I think that's a valid point. Like, again, we are coming back to the root, like where Krishnadu started, the education. When we grow up, or the education that we receive. I mean, I remember multiple number of times being thrown out of class because I had played football and, like, over. I mean, couldn't reach class on time, was totally sweaty and was not in proper shape. I mean, both of you pretty much. I mean, you've gone through those. So, like,
Yeah.
being stood up for playing football is where we had grown up with. So yes, absolutely, it was not considered as an education, it was not considered as a profession, but yes, that's what our vision is, as Krishan was saying, that we hope that someday it will be great, like we'll have it. So with that, Shagnik, thank you so much for joining us, and it was, as always, a pleasure. Okay, and we'll
The
meet
pleasure's all
on
mine.
good. Yes, yes. Okay, great, great. And we'll meet on good circumstances and
Yep.
not so
Yep.
good circumstances,
Yep. Yep.
hopefully. And thank you so much for showing
No,
your
we.
support.
I have a
Yeah.
treat due from Chandanath, where Slyly not invited me to his wedding.
We'll rob
I'll
him, sir.
pass
Don't
on
worry.
the
We'll
message
rob
to
him. We'll
him.
rob him.
We'll rob him, right? We'll like hold him at gunpoint and rob him.
Done, 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 done.
Anyway, so thank you guys. Thank you, Anikundada.
Great,
Thank
great.
you, Krishnanda.
Thank you,
Absolutely,
thank you.
absolutely.
See you
Yeah.
soon.
Chalo,
Thank you.
bye bye.
Yeah. See you soon. Right. So, Krishandu, like coming back to one very very important point, which I think is an elephant in the room. Why did the academy unfortunately stop, and why did we have to make a call of stopping the academy? If you can take us through that phase a little bit before we invite somebody else.
So this happened. This unfortunate thing happened back in 2017. That's almost like 2.5 years after we had our first chapter over there. So what was going on was basically, I mean, there was like two things. I mean, we were also a very small and amateur organization with a few heads and whatever I used to earn from tuitions and from someone else's salary. Like these were like all the basic thing we had. The most thing we had was like that much of collection we could spend on the football. But it was not. I mean, it was like a very small thing. But the main thing that drove us out of that place was basically the mindset of the local people was that this is another typical NGO which comes over here and shows poverty to the outside world to make money. So I couldn't blame them at that time because I have seen NGOs. There are certain NGOs who do amazing work, but there are also a certain type group of people who go there, take a lot of pictures, hand over a handkerchief thin like quilt. I mean, it's that bad, but they click a lot of pictures to show that how much work they're doing. So I couldn't blame them. I mean, they have seen something like that. Kabhi wapas nahi aate. They just click pictures, pictures, pictures. They never come back to that place. It's just a PR stunt for few group of people, and that what caused their ruckus also. That probably Bengal Cop is also something like that. So obviously we had to respect what the people thought, and we couldn't show them. I mean, we really did not have anything to show that we are not like that. So once that happened, we had to come out of that place, and the thing entirely stopped. Players from our like our whoever player was left, they had to join leather factories, the local leather factory over there. It was a very
Yeah.
unfortunate situation. So this is what happened, and this is why we had to stop. Uh, but in a couple of years, we started in a professional way. We gathered people who could secure finances first. We can bring in important people. We can salary them so that they feel this is not a joke. This is not for a day. This is not for photos. This is for the development of the kids in that local area only.
Talking about that, there is a very important question, or interesting question, that we have received from one of our patrons, Debrina, regarding this. She had to say, let me just check the question. Yeah, so she had to say, like, could you take us through the team that helps run the academy, including the administrative team and the player coaches?
Okay. So currently we have a small group of people. It's not too many kind of people, but so this is the kind of strategy we have used also to not have too much of people running around, and we can also focus a lot on the work. We focus a lot on one, we don't have to think about anything else. So anyway, so we have a head coach. I mean, he's a fantastic coach. I mean, if you see him coaching, I mean, his coaching techniques, I mean, we can start a whole day and spend a whole day talking about how good he is. So there are, I mean, we have all grown up to see a ball being lifted from here to there, and there's like no game. I mean, his coaching
And
is
I
so
think
good.
about that, Yeah, and about that, one good point is that I think as the academy grew, I think our coach Manna, he grew along with the academy also.
Of course. He was still a young boy who loved football
Yes,
like us.
love
He was
football.
into coaching, but nothing professional. But he watched, he self-taught himself, and that is where we could see that even someone, when we see trainings, we see that if a ball is put above the knee length and passed, I mean, he stops the game, punishes the player for not for doing that. It has to be grounded pass, continuous passing. So when we score a goal, it has to be 20, 30 passes, attempt passes, then only we can score a goal. So all the modern football techniques, transition, everything is quite good. So he is the most important person over there. He is the coach.
Absolutely.
And there are three centers which are of has students who are 12 and below. So that is where we have brought in our senior students who are like 20, 21, who are going to actually they they are they are coaching junior coaches actually. So we are like they are part of the team also. So that is there. I am there who's pretty much looking after the finances, bringing the finances, and then to make sure that the students, the next step towards professional football, this is where I bring in. So the start part, the end part is mine. Beach May, the coach is there. We have we have Dr. Shomodip Chakraborty. I'm not sure if he can join us today, but he is very much part of this. We have a board committee who are there helping us find the right kind of support from back end. So we do have a good number of people, but our focus was mostly to invest mostly in infrastructure first. And now, as we have done that, we are going to increase our workforce and hopefully have more people joining in.
Right, great, great. I think Debrina, that's pretty much answered your question. If it has not, still get in touch with us. We'll definitely walk you through each and every member of our admin and board team. So, speaking of that, I think Krishendu, it's time we bring on our next guest for the day, and he is none other than our very own Shubhojit.
Uh,
Welcome,
Hey
Shubhojit.
Krishnendu. Hey Anikindu. Thank
Hi.
you.
Uh, okay. So, Shubhojit, what time is it there now?
he's joined from Ireland, by the way.
It's
Everyone's
it's 4:20.
Okay, so 420.
Yeah.
Great. So, so Shubhajit, if you can right align a little bit, like you are intended towards the left a little. Can you come in the middle a little bit? Yeah, that's
not
perfect.
like that. Ha, ha,
Is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Perfect.
So, guys, Shubhajit has been a very integral part, and I think you have been a part of this for a long, long time. I believe you we are one of the select few who has stuck through this right from the first day, and I'm sure you are proud of it.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Uh,
And it
tell
goes beyond SOFE actually. Yeah, go ahead, Anikindu. Sorry about it.
Right. So can you tell us the experience of the journey of SOFE as well as okay, I'm sorry, Christian, are you getting an echo by
No, no,
any
no,
chance?
no, no, it's all good.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay, so Shubhajit, can you experience? I mean, share your experience a little bit, like your journey. I mean, it's not a small one; it's been a large one, I guess, with SOFE as well as OLSE. So, can you just share a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember, maybe 11, 12 years back when we were just recovering from the nightmare of Roy Hodgson, when I was shocked to see a Liverpool fan on social media, and Krishnendu was that guy. And we started speaking, we went out playing, we, went out for screenings. And then he came up with this brilliant idea. As you know, I there are many people I know, including myself, who would have such a dream like this. But in order to realize a dream like this, in order to execute it, with all the roadblocks and all the difficulties that we came across, that made me feel that even though, I have been with this, with Bengal Corp or SOFE for a long time, somebody like Krishnendu, or even you, like I met you after I met with Krishnendu, and there are plenty of other people who are really hell bent on getting this idea executed as soon as possible. So it was, to long story short, it was one hell of an experience, and I'm sure it's going to be full of other surprises, the good ones in the future, because the vision that Krishnendu, you, and everyone else in the board has, just as everyone was discussing, we started off with very few people, 20 people, 10 people. We actually started off with, I guess, 7 or 8 people. I don't remember exactly the count, but now you can imagine we have, people in three figures who know about what we are doing today, and they are actually aligned with what we want to achieve with this. And it's not just our victory. If we, you know it's everyone's. And like, I was following the other discussions as well, like Shagni joined. He's a United supporter. So this is not just about Liverpool Football Club. It was always, for the Indian football since day one. It never got anything to do with Liverpool Football Club. It was always for the grassroots of football in India.
Right, right. I think what Shubhajit mentioned, one point that was really great, which I feel that he mentioned that we started off with 7 or 8 people, and now there are three-digit figured people who know about the cause that we are in. So that itself, I think, is a huge achievement for the team, which is led by Krish. Definitely, like that, we have been able to reach such ground breaking numbers. So that's a really great point, Shubhajit. So I mean, Krish, coming back to you. So yes, I understand there were financial issues, and for such and such reasons, we had to stop. So what about the plan of the restart, and like how you got to restart the academy altogether?
So when we stopped the first time, obviously apart from that social problem we had, there was one big problem. It was like getting finances. And I have been a sports management professional for almost 7 years now, and I had an experience of knowing that nobody really invests in sports other than cricket. Even if they do, it's mostly in the top level, or there is like this Indian Super League, a little bit in I League, or the Pro Kabaddi leagues and all, which is like shown on TV. But to train someone at a ground level, that never happens. There nobody brings money into this part. So you might know Neeraj Chopra as the gold medalist in Tokyo Olympics, but you will fail to name the second javelin thrown in India. Why? Because nobody developed the sport. You don't know any other sportsman in that particular discipline. So this is what we have to change. We have to develop the sport so that kahan se champion aega. I mean, you will lose track of that count. You don't have to celebrate one. So it's basically when USA wins so many gold medals, they don't spend so much of new space in that. We win one gold medal, that the next 1 year is about that gold medalist. I mean, our achievements are so low and our celebrations are so big that we forget that we are actually quite puny in terms of success in the sporting
Right,
world.
right.
But this is where we had to
Especially
what.
right, right. And no, I was just saying, and with especially such a large population that our country has,
Yeah,
with
it's quite
with
surprising. Yeah.
respect to that, yeah.
But don't we have talent? We have talent. What we don't have is investment at the right place. We invest on a helipad, but we don't invest in making the staircase of a building that reaches that helipad. So we have made a very decorated roof with a helipad, a lot of videographers, photographers using a drone and all. Everything is happening, but nobody knows how to reach over there. So it's
Right,
so limited. So what we have to bring in is the right finances. So of course it was a mammoth task to get individual people to contribute. So the idea was we will get in individual people to join this project. So it's like small like sand dunes make a desert. So it's like small sand dunes, like important people with their individual contribution. We have a huge family right now of patrons. I mean, every patron has a contribution of picking up one child footballer or multiple child footballers. They support every month with a long term vision, because we have a long term. When we get in a child at the age of 6, 7, 8, we promise that we are going to train him till he's like good at football and he's going to take the next step. So until then, the patron has also made a pledge that he's going to support that kid he is taking up as a responsibility. So this is where we started with obviously 8, 10 people, and now we have close to 300 patrons. I mean, and every single one of them is updated about every single thing of the academy. Nobody is there can complain that we don't know what's happening, what's there. Everybody is there in WhatsApp groups. The purpose of those two groups is to keep them updated about the most important update to regular updates. Everything is there. So anybody who's watching this show, please know that if you're spending 1 rupee on the project, you're going to get an information about that 1 rupee, where is it getting invested to. So
Right.
that's we are keeping it transparent. It has been a long process, very difficult process to get individual patronship. People have suggested us to go for sponsors, investors, and all. It won't work because if we get an investor right now, suppose Onikinduda, you are an investor, and like suppose you just pledge a sum of money to us. It's possible that couple of years later, your board is going to suggest let's invest in some other project.
Right.
So if I rely on you completely on a huge chunk, my entire chunk goes away with you. But here, since we have so many people, if only a few people have problems, if they don't cannot continue for some reason, it won't hurt the project at large because the
Right.
maximum will still be there. So it's
And
self
most of the
sustainable.
Right. And most of the cases, what we have seen is that people who drop out due to financial issues, they help us in getting somebody else on board, so
Absolutely.
that
Even they
because
rejoin
they
also. That when they're in a
right,
better
they
situation,
rejoin
they
also.
can rejoin.
Right. 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 Right.
So we are very lucky to have such
That's
good-minded people with us
absolutely
who has pledged their support and they are going to do that. Unfortunately, if something happens, it's like they do communicate the thing to us. We understand because we are in a place of work where we do understand people's problem. That's why we are here. So it starts from the kids to anybody who's facing an unfortunate situation. But we have good people around who say that I'll come back after maybe 4, 5, 6 months or even a year later, but I'm gonna be with this project until the end. So yeah, that's our story.
right. So, coming back to Shubhajit. So, Shubhajit, like the project stopped and then it restarted again. So, then the world is a large set, and there are numerous such projects which you could have chosen to be a part of if you wanted to do something for football or do something for Indian football. But you chose SOFE. Like, why SOFE? Would like to know that.
Before he answers, I want to
Yeah.
tell
So
people over there. He was a great footballer. So Shubhajit he was Bengal's Cup captain when we had a
I'm
football
the
team.
scapegoat of
So
this
he's one of our
conversation.
key players. So he is very good at football, but he has taken retirement at a young age. So yeah, proceed.
Yeah. So coming back to your question, Anikendu. So I was just based on our conversations that we were having regarding other football academies and other football initiatives in India. They are absolutely doing a brilliant job, like Krishnendu mentioned. But somewhere I felt that it's not only about providing the resources to these kids or giving an opportunity to these kids to just come and get yourself trained, play for a team. But what SOFE and you guys have is you guys
It's
since
we
day one
guys.
have
Shubhajit, it's
instilled
we
this.
guys, not you guys. It's we guys, all of us.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Right.
you're part
uh,
of it.
Yeah. So what SOFE as a family, what we decided, what vision we had is, to instill that feeling within these kids as to why they should do it as well, and what things if they do might get these wrong. It's not just about providing a field, a coach, some football kits to the kids who can just come in and play. This SOFE has been inspiring these kids. They have won the belief of their parents. It's not easy, I can tell you. Like that's probably the most
Most
difficult
difficult
job
one. Exactly.
in India. That's because this is the reason why. So what I feel is that I have not been too much involved into gathering information within what's going on in the professional clubs. But if we look at examples like Lalam Puya and Abhinash Vidas, we know that it's not something these players are doing, out of their will. So if you can teach this player since day one as to, if you can avoid local tournaments, if you can, avoid certain such and such things, this is where you can be, 5 years down the line. But having said that, it's very difficult to again convince their parents. Now coming back to your question as to why I wanted to be a part of SOFE is because, I always dreamt of something like this, and call it a coincidence. Again, just to mention, it's not a Liverpool initiative, but having to work with someone who is so like-minded as I am, I could never be as happy to, get my dreams, realized in this form with someone and like a lot of people. It's not just someone. It started with him, and then, we became a family, and we are getting bigger. And, as much as so, it's on very rare occasions that I would interact with Shagnik. But while I was going through what he had to say about Bengal Cop, this is probably the place I would, really like to be, in the coming years as well.
Oh, great to hear from you. Great words also. So I mean that's really. I think that's what makes us as a family also special. Our
Sure.
bond. Yes, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our fights as well. Every family has that. There's no shame in admitting it. But yes, we've stuck together when we were 3-0 down. So that's most important. And we know what sticking together when 3-0 down can do. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Krishan, jokes apart, coming on to the fact now we've spoken about how it got stopped, how it restarted and on. So after restarted, like how have we grown into it? Like where are we going, and where have we been in the last 2.5 years? If you can explain.
So I mentioned that there were two problems that happened when we stopped. One is the social problem of we being misinterpreted as a typical NGO who goes there to click pictures and all those stuff, and then there was the financial problem. So we sorted the financial problems, which became a very autopilot mode, but we also had to get the trust of the community back with us. So that is where, I mean, during the entire COVID phase, uh, we realized that it is our responsibility. I mean, their parents, the students, their parents were all laborers, their mothers were maids, and they lost their livelihood around that time when COVID hit the country very bad, or the whole world very bad. So what we did, we made
I
sure
think
we,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, Christian, I'm interrupting you. I think you're heading to the right direction. So I'll just pinch in a question here. It's a very interesting question that we've received from one Bengal Cop follower, Kostav, who's also a
mhm.
Wolves fan, by the way. That how have we as a project been able to touch the lives of other local people in the vicinity?
Right.
So I think you were heading towards that
I think,
direction. So
yeah,
I
it
just
will
pinched in.
cover both the questions of you and Kostav
Right.
also. So this is where we believe that it's our responsibility to make sure that our students, their families don't get affected because of this. So we continuously did crowdfunding separately to make sure there were like around 80 students back then. So multiplied by around 4 or 5 family members, it was coming to around say 400 people. So we kept supporting them for the entirety of 6 7 months during the first wave before the country opened up for their profession. So they could rejoin work only probably in the month of October, November. But before that, it was entirely locked down in different phases and all. But they all lost their livelihood. So we made sure that at least the students are ours. Students are ours. I mean, they are going to be our future. They're going to look after the whole thing. Why? It's a very least thing we can do is to look after them right now. So we did
Right.
that. So that is where I think the community also believes that Bengal Cop is not here to click pictures. They're here to actually be a part of our lives. They're here to sit down with us, not for photos, to sit down with us, to plan, to strategize, to think about the future. So this is what we brought in this time. Our second chapter was a lot about community development, community health. So we got their trust back, and even in cases of a couple of times, a couple of our students were hospitalized at a very critical situation. We made sure with the help of very good doctors, we made sure they get the proper treatment. One was bitten by a snake and was almost, I mean, it's very, when I saw his face and all, it was like he was a couple of hours from death. All the mistreatment happened in those couple of days, and he was going through hell. His family was going through hell. We sent him to the right hospital. We did a crowdfunding for his on his behalf. Also made sure that his family doesn't go through any expense. So all this brought together. Football, obviously, the most important thing, but we also make sure that off the field we influence their lives. We make sure that should we on.
I think we lost him due to some connectivity issues. I think he's
Okay, okay.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back on.
So this is where
Yeah.
we felt is very important. And right now, apart from football, we're always there with our kids, the family, whenever they need something, be it medicines, be it doctors, they need to visit a doctor, they need to get something, some treatment and all. We have the right people working with us. We have a brilliant family, and we have brought everything together. We have even started a spoken English class for 8 of our students. And in future, we're going to bring in more students as part of this. This is a very important life skill you need to have, English spoken abilities. So this is where we're going to bring in more stuff to the whole community so that we can all grow together. So we
Correct.
have the
Correct.
finances, we have the faith of the whole community with us.
Correct. I'll just pinch in one more point. I think Krish has forgotten. That is what we've done for the three new centers which has opened up is that we've kept our academy graduates to train or look after the kids out there. And with
The
that,
younger ones, but like the
the
younger
younger
ones.
ones, yes.
Huh.
So the elder ones take care of the younger ones because they they know the mistakes they've made and they know the right path. I mean, they've been through the path, so we kept them. This not only engages those guys, it also generates employment out there. So this is what we also plan to do. I mean, in the coming days, that I mean, it's a far-sighted goal, but it's a goal that we have in mind is to generate employment among the area so that that can turn out to be a small, very small employment hub as well. Like what Krish, I mean, I think there's one thing that Krish did from the early days was that if at all we needed anything for any function out there, like we needed food, we needed say banana leaves, or we needed bananas, whatever we needed, we bought it from the parents of the students. Like we ask them to hand make it or get it from a manufacturer or get it from a wholesale stuff, and then we bought it from them, so that we wanted the money to circulate in that place itself, which will give a better economic growth to that small area. And it will also go ahead and try and put, even if it increases the economic stability by 0.05%, I believe that is what our aim should be. So I think those 2 points, I think, is also what like to answer Kostav's question, that
Absolutely,
how.
absolutely. Being self-sustainable is the ultimate goal. I mean, putting the entire, like, investing and bringing things up from there, it has to be a cycle over there. So we can't just keep taking, we have to give back. So this taking and giving back should happen simultaneously.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just changing the track. Absolutely. I mean, just going from north to south. I'll go back to Shubhajit. Shubhajit, you've spent a considerable amount of time in India, and you've played your share of football. I know that. So there's no escaping. And you've spent considerable time in Europe as well. How different is the grassroots football culture in Europe from what you see in India?
So, to be very honest, the grassroots football I wouldn't say it's the same everywhere in Europe, but the places I would say which are very less dominant about football, even those places have football in their schools. We were discussing about directly putting us into the sports day without any practice or without any coaching. So what they have out here in Europe is they treat football, I wouldn't say football as such. That's kind of an optional, but it comes under one umbrella of sports. So sports is equally important as education in Europe. So people who choose to go with football would, get grassroots coaching, probably from the age of 4 or 5. Then they have so many divisions in Europe. That's something, which motivates the parents as well. So, for example, if you are 6 years old, 7 years old, you get a chance to play, all the tournaments which, comprise of all the kids from some of the top clubs in the world, or may not be the top clubs in the world, might be, just the clubs within the counties. But that kind of a motivation has a great impact out here. It's if you would want me to compare between, what happens in India and Europe, as far as football is concerned, the gap is huge. So people people there is very, there's very little awareness about how football should be, considered in every stage in within somebody's life who wants to eventually become a footballer. But there is absolute clarity as to how a person should get groomed, over the years, starting from a very young age, right? um, right until he or she becomes a footballer, in future. So there's a huge difference. Lot of subsidies coming from people in power, lot of people investing in the infrastructure. Like uh, there are plenty of factors, that separates Europe from, the one we have in India, only as far as, football is concerned.
Right, right, great. I think yes, we pretty much know that the difference is probably huge, but just wanted to hear you from you upfront because you've been in both the cultures, so that's the reason. Thanks, Shubha, for that. Krishandu, quickly, there is one more question which we have received from one of our followers on Instagram, and he DM'd the question to us. So, and I believe this is a very important question, which I don't know why we received only one. I thought that many would ask that. So, what is your source of income in running the project? And if you can tell us, like, if somebody wants to be a part of this project or wants to be a contributor, what are the means and what are the methods, and like how can they achieve it?
Right. So I think I've explained this a little bit before, but I'll go again. So the whole project is run on the support of individual patrons. So as an individual person, what you can do is like you can select as many child footballers you want to support. So every child footballer would cost you rupees 500 every month. Now you need to have a long-term vision. Of course, I mean we are giving a long-term vision to the project. Your vision should match with us. So suppose someone picks up say 5 footballers, so he is going to contribute, he or she is going to contribute rupees 2,500 every month. Obviously, every month that goes on. So now, why we do individual patronship is obviously, I mean, if we go to one sponsor or one investor, nobody first of all comes to this place to invest. Nobody invests in grassroots wherever in the city. They invest to make money, but here consumerism is very questionable. These people are in the lower strata in terms of finances, so nobody would come over here. So it's all dependent on individual help. But as a patron, if you want to be a part of the project, you can pick up one, two, three, four, as many child footballers as you want. We use the amount to invest in various structures like infrastructure, coaches' salary, the nutrition of the players, the kit, the ground maintenance, tours, tournaments, trials, everything. We spread it across. But as a patron, you get to say that it is you who's helping a child live his dream to become a professional footballer.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much explains. Look, could you walk us through a little bit? I know you don't have probably videos or pictures to show, but could you like walk us through the infrastructure a little bit? What do you have in terms of training facilities, in terms of equipments, in terms of like ground facilities, in terms of treating injury, first aid, like what's there in the academy?
So we have got four grounds. Two of them are seven-a-side fields. One of them is a nine-a-side field, and one is a proper 11-a-side ground. So the two small seven-a-side ground is for students who are 17 and below. Sorry, there's who are 12 and below. Pardon. So the 12 and below. We also have a girls team who practices in one of the grounds. The other nine-a-side ground we have. It's quite further away from all our three centers. So it's like local kids over there who are all 12 and below. They come and train over there. So we have three dedicated centers for students who are 12 and below. One of the centers also caters to the girls team. But the 11-a-side ground is for students who are 15 and above. So this is our infrastructure setup in terms of grounds. What we also have, we have adequate amount of kit, footballs, everything that is required for each of these grounds. So we don't have scarcity of anything over there. What we also have in the main 11 side ground is a video recording platform. So whenever a match is being played, we record that match. It is used for two purposes. One is to for match analysis, a player wherever he has gone wrong, where we can make him better. All the things that happens after the match. We sit with all the players. We analyze the match that has just occurred. So that is there. Also, we use that match footage to make player profiles. So something we see on YouTube of various European famous footballers, goals and assists and everything. We are going to try and make something similar for our younger players so that it is easier for them to reach a professional level instead of going through so many trials where they might get lost in the crowd. So if we have player profiles with us, we can send it directly to the coaches across the country. So they have direct access to the players over here. So this is we have. So that's a very important thing we could set up. We do analytical setup. So we have watchtowers, we have CCTV cameras which captures all the footages in the ground.
Great. I think that's pretty much sums up the infra part of the project. So, Shubhajit, one quick thing or one quick question to you, since
Yeah.
you've been in the sport. So, how important do you think is treating minor injuries? Major injuries, we know it has to be treated right away. How important do you think is treating minor injuries? And on top of that, Krishnendu, one question to you: what is the academy doing in treating such injuries, which you can answer after, like Shubhajit
After
says?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Based on my experience, it is very important to take care of minor injuries as well, because sometimes it can go on to become something major. And this is something, I can share from my real life experience. So I wouldn't go into depth of it, but that's exactly what happened. So it's always very critical to get a player assessed whenever he or she is in discomfort with something. You would sometimes you wouldn't understand the impact just by looking at it, or just by feeling whether you have something, whether you have any problem within your any body part. So it's I feel that it's really important. And that's why I also remember the time whenever I went to uh, the fields during the trainings for SOFE. I saw Krishnendu specifically telling the kids not to go to local tournaments without my permission. So it's these little things that make a huge difference in the long run.
Right, right. So, Krish, like moving on to the question which I asked, like how is the academy handling such situations of minor injuries?
So before getting to that, I think that one point Shubhajit made that the thing is called KPay tournament, which is
Okay.
a very local concept. You get paid $100, $200, and you play, go and play. And that's a very important money for them.
Yeah.
But it has been like, Pocholito thing for them. Like that is the normal way of
It's
playing
not about
football.
them. I mean, I believe professional I League footballers also sometimes have been
Absolutely,
seen
absolutely. I
playing.
mean, every Indian footballer has gone through
Uh,
this Cape concept. Everyone who has played the Calcutta Football League this season are like Cape footballers. So let's so anyway, but the thing is, we have been successful in preventing all our players who are below the age of 16 to not take up that. So it is very difficult to convince someone who has been playing that for 5, 6 years, those who are 20, 21 years old now. So we can't do anything about them. But those who are like young, they're like 15, 16 and below, none of them go and play football no matter how lucrative it is. Even if they're asked to come and they're going to pay, say, 2000 rupees to play a match or something, they do not go there because they know one injury can damage their whole career, and that is the understanding they have. After training with us, they will never go and play for at a dangerous tournament where they can lose their entire career for just a matter of
Matter
second.
of
As injury can happen and they can all everything can go for a toss. So they know the seriousness about it. So the very first thing they stop is to go and play K football. So all our players, barring the few who are seniors, none of them play K football. They are here training dedicatedly, and they want to be professional footballers when the right time comes. So having said that, in terms of injuries, we are very happy that we could get two very good doctors on board, Dr. Somudi Chakraborty and Dr. Ritika Nandi. So they are patrons of the academy. I mean, they contribute for the development of the academy. They also come here, do free clinics, and whenever something is required, they're always ready to cure them. I mean, one of our students actually got a operation done in her knee ACL injury. So now she'll be out for 6, 7 months. She just got her operation done free of cost by Dr. Ritika Nondi. So we have two doctors, very good doctors on the go. Any problem, any injury, even family health issues, they're all there. So we do not have problem with such. We can definitely take them around for free clinics, free surgery, free medical checkup. Everything is free, and these two doctors have done a lot for us. So a personal round of like thanks to both of you if you're
absolutely,
listening to this
absolutely.
show. So yeah, I mean we have everything in place so that there's no looking back.
Right. Great to hear that the kids are all right and the kids are safe. So, with that, I think Shubhajit will be due to you, but definitely we know you'll come back in our shows later on, and we continue to support SOFE because you've been through the entire journey. So, thank you so much for being a part of it. I hope you've had a nice experience out here.
Yeah, thank you, Anikinda. Thank you, Krishna, for
Thank
having
you,
me
Subhajit.
here. It was
Take
it
care.
was a pleasure.
Sure. Thank you. Sure. Uh, so, Krishandu, speaking of health, there's one more point which I would like to ask you. Uh, how do the players or the kids or the girls who's just come in, what is the academy thinking about their mental health issues? Mental health in nowadays is a huge thing. So, like, if you can like slightly explain the uh,
Right.
stuff we've done with mental health. Yeah,
So mental health is something that we we are still figuring out. The entire world is trying to figure out what are the causes, what happens, and whether someone looks normal or he looks different when he's having a mental. So it's a huge concept, and we are all trying to figure it out. The very first thing we should believe blindly it exists. So once we know it exists, we can take up the right kind of professional help to deal with it. It can happen to someone living in the city in a mansion. It can happen to someone living on the streets for a homeless person. Unfortunate situation can happen to anybody. But after working there for a few years, we have realized that a lot of things go on in that area with our students, with their families, which is not exactly physical. There are issues that are physical, but there are issues that nobody speaks about. It's there in your health, and that leads to very wrong things. Maybe, unfortunately, we have heard about suicide stories, attempting suicide, committing suicide. We have heard of stories of things that are illegal, but we can't say it out loud, but it's because of that mental health that is prevailing in that area. So we have tried to bring in professional consultants who are going to work with them. They're going to be there every month to seek out. their problems, their things that they can't share with all of us, maybe their parents, nothing, but they can share with someone special. So we have brought in psychologists also. We're going to understand what problems they have, how can they overcome it, and we can all live in a harmonious way so that it is never a problem. And there's always a solution for everything. We can figure out that solution together. So even without a psychologist, we want to make sure with our kids that they're not alone here. Their parents are not here alone here. We are with them together. Any problem, even if you feel sad, we are there for you. We can hear your stories, even if it's not football related. Once you have a free
Right.
mind, you can get on the ground,
You
give
can
out a
get on the
better
ground
performance.
and do a lot of things. Right.
Exactly. We have a lot of baggage, you can't do that. So it's better we can figure out the solution and then we can actually win the game together.
Right.
So we
And
are
it
very
is not only about the kids or the girls, like it is in our or your or my day-to-day life also. If we do not have a mental
absolutely.
blockage or a mental baggage, as you said, we can do what we are doing in a much more
Our performance
productive,
will be much better.
much better. Right, absolutely correct. So okay, I think we've taken almost all the questions and whatever doubts or clarifications or whatever Insta Facebook stuff that has come our way. uh, I would like to leave the next few minutes to you, Krishnendu. This platform is yours. If you want to say something or you want to round up with something, please go ahead and express what you feel needs to be told about the Academy of School of Football Excellence.
So football is something that is probably the most natural thing to us. Ask every mother in the world. A baby kicks. Even if the baby knows nothing about the world, the baby knows how to kick. So football is the most natural thing that comes to us. And unfortunately, I mean, we live in a country where it is told not to take that up that comes so naturally to us. Give a kid some toy to play. A kid plays. We are told don't take up sports. I mean, this is the most unfortunate thing. FIFA has more number of members than the United Nations. So there are countries who want to bombard other nations are very particular about the beautiful game. They don't want life. They want football. This is the power of football. It can change the entire, you can bring people together. It can, I mean, when someone is playing, of course, Chak De India has shown it is very, if someone is not passing the ball to another player. So it's, we have seen movies, dramatic movies, but when someone is in the ground, he wants to win either for himself or with the help of players for the team. It all brings in a very romantic story. I mean, romance in a different way. It's like brings a lot of happiness when you are playing the game of football. It brings the supporters together, it brings the parents, it brings the hard work that you have done all in the same line, and it helps you grow. So this is what we have been trying to do with School of Football Excellence. There are kids who wants to be professional footballers. We are giving them the platform to be professional footballers. when we are when we are in class 5, 6, 7, we dream of probably like the first video game we're going to buy. We are thinking of मुझको pilot बनना है, मुझको ये बनना है. I'm going to be a lot of stuff. These kids are forced to agree that they are going to be labor masons and whatnot. That is not a choice for them. That's a forceful thing. They have to take it up. We are going to bring this change into their life. If you are there listening to this podcast, talk show, whatever, if you want to bring a change to their lives, if you want to see India's football grassroots, the very first foundation to be strong, we are going to help you help them. So this is an urge to all the listeners to this show. We are here to make a huge difference, and in years to come, you are going to look back at this promise that you're going to make for supporting this project, and you're going to turn a very happy person in a few years' time.
Right. Brilliantly said about the fact that the most natural thing for us is to kick first. And yes, kick it is indeed. So with that, I think we've had a really great show. A lot of stuff discussed, a lot of opinions, a lot of uh, open criticisms. So that was really enticing. And I believe before rounding up, I would like to say that everybody who's watching this, if you are related to football, you know what it is. If you are not related to football, I will just like to quote uh, Bill Shankly in saying that it is not a matter of life and death. It is much, much more than that. So give it a thought, think about changing a few lives. If at all you feel that we have been able to touch you in some way, get in touch with us. We'll tell you how to take it on from there. With that, good night. Thank you. It's been pleasure hosting this.
Thank you.